waiting for, considering we, of course, will have Klaus. But I expect to see him hitting fourth unless they're going to throw a little bit of a mix-up.
Yeah, we have the first attack now in. Jangvi is in for the tank, and he's starting things off with an attack strategy which we have seen now quite a bit recently in this Last Chance qualifier. Tribe Gaming bringing this strategy kind of back into the mix, and were really successful in their Last Chance qualifier, coming in with the Queen Charge Hydra. It's a bit different to the Queen Charge Dragon Riders, where you mix in some dragons, and this is actually the big difference, because you're not entering at the Town Hall. Instead, you have the Town Hall on the far back end, so it's sometimes a bit of a risky move, but what you want to get is get that Queen near the core and make sure that she's getting as much value as possible. And so far, this Queen Charge is looking really good, because, I mean, so far there were no black mounts.
Yeah, and we can see the radius of that multi-targeting Inferno. We do have to be very mindful for those healers, because you want to keep that Queen going. So this is the exact point where Jangvi sets in the dragons to pick it up, spread out those beams, and force that Queen along right there into the center, as you mentioned. King slightly delayed down to the bottom side of the base, and we do have a
No, the Queen! The Queen died in her ability. She got shot at by the defending Queen and the King, and a giant bomb came up. This is worst case, and now we have the blimp flying across the entire base. She has to, like, this blimp has to make it. There is no plan B. There is super minions inside. There's not the tornado trap. I watched the scene, there's the tornado trap. Blimp is getting pushed into the Town Hall, and this means this Town Hall should maybe fall, depending on what is inside that blimp. And there are the sneaky goblins working on the Town Hall, and the Town Hall's going down. Second star is secured.
Oh, that sweeper actually doing some favors for Jangvi, pushing the blimp right over to the Town Hall radius and keeping it safe and secured. But the problem is the formation has not worked. We need to see the dragons working their way through, and the blimp, yeah, probably picked up most of those traps in there, but we see a lot of thinning out. That Royal Champion, the last saving grace, but she needs to hang on to this ability and the freeze to get through the back-end splash damage from the Wizard Tower and Scatter Shot.
Yeah, but that King right now is tanking perfectly. Now it's depending on the defending Royal Champion. Can the defending Royal Champion go down? Yes, indeed. One more freeze. There we go. But the Royal Champion is not going for that scatter. And with this, it seems like this is the first defense in this matchup. Jangvi losing his Queen early. And there's two Arch Towers in the back end. I don't think that this Dragon Rider can somehow overcome this. Now it's all about collecting those percentages, because we saw already now a couple of times already today that those percentage not only can win wars, but as well putting a lot of pressure. I mean, this is the big event all of those teams are working towards in this year, so there's so much pressure on the line. All of those teams, all of those players want to perform on this stage and make sure that their team is getting as far as possible.
And percentage will be in a reasonable range here for Jangvi, as the Electro Owl has done a lot of work. We won't quite hit that 90% mark that he would have felt more comfortable with, but you know what? Considering that the Queen died out before getting the true value that was intended, this was a beautiful recovery, and we are seeing a lot of that today. These are the best of the best players, and when things go wrong, they certainly know how to handle it.
That's right, they know for sure how to save those attacks. I mean, those teams and those players are here for a reason. They know how to handle the pressure. They know how to maybe take some risk, like this blimp where we are freaking out. And like, I mean, I don't know if we would have done that, but yeah, Stoneface Cold going in there and making sure that this blimp is actually reaching the target, which is the Town Hall. But now we have the first attack now for the Queen Walkers coming in, and we all know their attack, alright? Like, they're in every video. We know it's going to be Stadra or Gaku coming in first, depending on their strategy, which they're coming in with. So let's see and wait what strategy is going to be, and it is Gaku with his Inferno Dragons. A couple of Rocket Dunes for some pathing purposes. And this base looks incredibly interesting with the two scatters and those two defending air heroes close by. With those Rocket Dunes, it's going really quickly into those air defense.
Yeah, so we start from the northern side of the base here. Now, we do really need to start sectioning off this funnel. We do not want those Inferno Drags coming near the radius of the Town Hall, so we will sail the blimp through, trying to open up the path and clearing out those defenses to make a much more safe approach, and this has worked out nicely. Great timing on the blimp to get to the Town Hall, and it will force everything along the outlying L-shaped circle.
That's right. Meanwhile, we have the Queen and the King pushing everything through the core, which is exactly what you want to have. Meanwhile, though, the Loons and those Dragon Riders behind the Town Hall are triggering a lot of red bombs. Those red bombs are crucial to trigger because your Inferno Dragons, well, they have not too many hit points, which sometimes could be a big problem, especially if you're facing two multi-Inferno Towers in the core. Skeleton Spell is getting used to tempo that Queen, help that King at the bottom side. There's a lot of Giant Bombs and offensive and defensive Skeleton Traps. The Inferno Dragons at the top side are pushing and closing on the back end Queen, but the Scatter is now getting in range as well.
And so Queen hanging on to this ability, still in great health with the Unicorn keeping her alive and well. This Royal Champ is going to be the savior here, though. Is she really needed much as the Inferno Drags just cruise their way through that scatter shot? Itsu, Gaku is off to a raring start here for Queen Walkers. And you know what? We are going to get to see some swag to boot. They are here. They are ready to go.
That's right, Gaku is showing off. And actually, big shout out, by the way, to our stats master, who on Twitter always is posting all of those nice stats for us. And Gaku is actually the secret carry of Queen Walkers, having the highest hit rate. So, big shout out to you, Chase the Ace.
Yeah, Gaku, definitely a strong starting leader for the team here, and that really can make a difference. You know, when we talk about the positioning of the players, this does play into their strategy quite a bit. And I know, having spoken to Queen Walkers, it's something they don't actually want to fully reveal why they have this order, but I think on a basic component, we know it just works in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, so far it has worked pretty well in their last matches, always having really good hit rates across the board. But as we already mentioned earlier, it's something like a regional thing. I mean, we have 4 European teams in this finals event and 4 Asian teams. And they're really different in the setup. We have, for the Asian teams, really structured attacking orders. On the European teams, they're all mixed up. Like, anyone can attack first. And now we have the next attack for the tank coming in. It's going to be another air attack. So far, they're really liked. I mean, not only they're strong, but as well, they're kind of quickly planned, which then is giving more time to your teammates. Because remember, your planning time is around about 8 minutes for those proteins. So if you're at home and saying like, those attacks are not looking that good, well, they only have 8 minutes to plan, and that's pretty much it. So this means those strategies are giving you some time, and we're going in hard with those dragons.
I really like this opener with the Zapway combination, the Rocket Loons, and the Drag Rider to clear out that Eagle compartment, setting up the pathing and taking on a huge component. No longer worrying about the Eagle firing away, and we can sail the blimp straight through this Warden ability to the Town Hall and keep these heroes nice and safe to work their way for some cleanup on the backside.
That's right, the blimp is reaching its target, which is their Town Hall, and there's the clone. So many Loons are getting cloned, and the back end of all of those expos are going down. And another important factor is all of those traps are getting triggered. But wait a second, Lady B, there is a lot of dragons and Dragon Riders are dying out, so there's still quite a bit of back end with the expo, with the defending Royal Champion, and this. Oh, and the defense is ground skeleton as well. This is going to be tricky.
Look at the timing of the King ability. Takes the focus of that Expo off the approaching Royal Champion. Gives her even more opportunity to work through getting inside this base. And with this, PSW is able to secure a 3-star for Vatang, which is much needed considering Queen Walker's start here. Itsu, this is starting to heat up. This is exactly what we want to see.
Yeah, that's true. Those back-end Rocket Loons were a big game changer right there. Being able to direct his Royal Champion and obviously the Dragon Riders, which were alive, into this last scatter shot to just overwhelm it. I mean, the scatter shot can only shoot into one direction, right? So, like, it cannot shoot everything, even though it's really powerful and devastating, but it can't take down every unit at once. So, really good attack right there. And both teams are showing off that air right now is still incredibly strong, even though we had an Inferno Dragon nerf and Dragon Rider nerf just recently. And still, both teams are having great success with that strategy.
It doesn't seem to phase certain players because this is it seems like it's in their DNA. It's lined up. They are using this nonstop. And that does speak to the way the teams go about their strategy. We talked about that particularly with Queen Walkers, knowing they have that versatility and they have certain attack strategies that they tend to lean towards. And speaking of, we've got Stadra, the resident ground hitter for Queen Walkers here coming in. I know you're happy. The Super Witches it too.
Yeah, I mean, Super Witches are always great to see, and this is like his thing. Those smash type of attacks, P.E.K.K.A smash, Super Bowlers are a thing right now as well in the meta, and he is going for those Super Witches. Apparently he saw some nice lightning value because this is what you're going for with this strategy. You really like to take down a huge part of the base and then create some sort of pathing, because take a look at that. He is going to enter this air defense at the top left, going to the scatter with the second wall break. He has 2 wall breaks with him, and then going to jump into the Multi-Fern Tower, and this so far is looking really good pathing-wise. So let's see if everything is going to work, and he gets those wall breakers right to make sure those Super Witches are going exactly where they're supposed to be. And one thing we have to mention is the time, Lady B. 2 minutes and 15 seconds, and those Super Witches are getting started.
Oh, this is nice and fast, and that's why I like the lightning spell combination. We're seeing that to help force easier pushes coming in with these smash-style attacks. I love the pathing because we can see direct path for the splash coming in, head-on, straight jump across, and eliminating that additional Inferno really helps out for these healers.
Yeah, and maybe the tank actually predicted this ground attack, because we have the triple Ice Golem Clan Castle coming out. This Clan Castle, yeah, will take some time until those troops can move again, because it's ice time for them. A lot of Ice Golems right there, having some fun, freezing those attacking units. And now it's keep going, because they're going to go into the core, keep diving forward. The Town Hall is pretty much the last building on this one, so he needs to concentrate and use those spells correctly.
Yeah, and you know what? He had that rearing start, which I think helps him out quite a bit. But what I want to point out is the position of that siege barracks. So Wei was able to come in with the Hogs. Unfortunately, they die out a bit too early, but they were on that direct route for the scatter shot, which actually did distract it slightly. The Royal Champion will be able to pick it off, but let's see what we have left over here to get through the Town Hall and take care of the cleanup. We still have plenty of the time on the clock here with 57 seconds left.
Yeah, that's right. The Expo has to go down. Take a look at that. So many defensive traps, air traps on that right side, making sure this Loon is not getting anywhere. So now this one Expo, which the Royal Champion was not able to take down, is taking down the healers, is taking down the HP of his troops, and this is going to be close. 40 seconds left, we know on the back end. Those Super Witches are so slow, and they're dying out with that Queen ability. But I don't think this Expo is going to fall. It seems like this one Expo might be the MVP for Div. Might be the difference maker for the tank.
Oh, this Royal Champion, unfortunately not able to clear out that compartment on her lonesome. That's really where we needed the Hogs to shine. And while they were able to get right in there, right for the target, just too much oncoming damage for them. The timing just not right, but the freeze trying to keep the Queen in this so Queen Walkers can get the percentage nice and high, and this will carry them above Vatang on percent here, but tying up in stars.
That's right. I mean, it's only the first 2 attacks so far, but it's already really close. And this is, I don't know why, but this is always a thing for those pro teams. I mean, it always seems like those teams are like talking to each other like, hey, I'm doing a 13, you should do a 12. It's always so close, like every single time. And this is hopefully not going to be any difference for those 2 teams, because so far they are completely even on stars. 5-5 after the first 2 attacks, and the tank has to hit next. So Queen Walkers always can react, always has the possibility of knowing what they need in their next attack and what they have to top or not.
Yeah, so this could put some pressure on Queen Walkers potentially if we see that 3-star coming in as well, but it'll help try and sit Vatang a little bit more comfortably into the mix. And I mean, you know, if you wanted to see a show today, you were certainly going to get to see it, but Urek we have coming in with the hybrid.
Oh, Queen Charge Hybrid, okay. There's a couple of things right now with Queen Charge Hybrid where... Wait a second. The healers. Please use your healers. Healers, please? No. What is happening? Is he really trying to intentionally delay the healers? Because if that... Okay, he delayed the healers Okay, all good. I mean, the Queen has not used her ability whatsoever. There wasn't too much damage in this Unicorn. This Unicorn is so incredibly powerful. He tries to lure out the Clankers with this one Hog Rider, and it's working. And it's another, I guess it's 3 Ice Golems, because 2 Ice Golems were already getting lured. And now it's all about getting this last Ice Golem out of this Clan Castle.
Ooh, that rage just coming down to get the Queen healed up. And now we know this is going to stall her quite a bit. But she's in a pretty safe spot with only the 1 Expo coming for her. So she just needs to work her way through. But with Hybrid, we can often see this time fail. So this could really mess things up for Yurik.
Yeah, that's right, but it seems like he already took down everything what he wants to, because this is the strange thing with Hybrid. If you take down the Town Hall, if you can lure up the Clankers and take that out obviously as well, you're looking already good. Then you already got nearly everything what you have to get, creating that pathing obviously as well. I guess he's going to start from the top side, or maybe he's going to wait for something else. There's the Nether Trap out of the picture already, and there we go with the Hybrid from the top side. 1 minute 30 left, so he needs to hurry up right there.
He does, but we have...
Spring Traps!
Ooh, we do have the Siege Barracks at least to try and help cut the funnel, but they're trying to work inside the base rather than on the outskirts. They will take some additional tank factor here, which is a good thing for what remains, but look at all these Spring Traps flying these Hogs off the board.
Yeah, and that's the problem with Hybrid. If there's so many Spring Traps, you can't do anything about it. Now the Hybrid is pushing into the core, trying to dive into that multi-inferno tower. The King on the outside is doing a great job. Now it's on the inside actually, taking down the Eagle, taking down the Expos, taking down the defending heroes. And there is this Yeti on the far right side trying to push this King inside this scanner compartment. The Queen is taking down some more buildings, and maybe this is still looking good because there's still quite a few of Miners and Hog Riders left alive.
There are a lot left over here, but we still have the splash damage of the Wizard Tower that the Queen and the Royal Champion are focusing on. One more over to the 430 side of the base as the Royal Champion takes the lead to take it down.
Wow.
Yurik able to turn this 1 to the 3-star, despite the Queen getting slightly hung up and the pathing being, I don't know, a little bit different here. That was pretty wide for a Hybrid.
Yeah, especially like being a wide entry for the Hybrid. In addition to that, having so many springs, ground skeleton traps, and giant bombs against you, he was managing this perfectly. This is like what we're talking about when we're talking about those players and the level of those players, that they can make 3-stars work even through bait sometimes. I mean, we all see sometimes people failing really horribly, but this is not what those guys are doing. They are incredible at what they're doing, and this is exactly why they're at this stage of Clash Worlds, of this event, which every single team, every single Clasher tried to get to.
And you mentioned this now will kind of put a little bit more pressure on. Queen Walkers know what they have to do. They have to triple. They don't want to slip up here and give that opening an opportunity to Vatang. What I'm waiting to see, though, is if there's going to be more defense for Vatang, because they are certainly known for that, with a strong base building team behind them. Now, Stars, though, coming in, this is exactly what we would expect to see from him, the Lalo, but we're bringing a pretty big tanky golem to come in for the mix so we can get some big value out of these heroes.
Yeah, there are some invisibility spells, so they can get ready most likely for a Blizzard. That's one of his special abilities, you want to say. They're so good with Lalo, but especially with Blizzard Lalo, really, really good. And wait a second, is this going to be a hero dive in that bottom side with the Warden ability Blimp onto that Clan Castle? Maybe, we're going to see, because he's starting things off. Wait a sec, that invisibility spell? Okay, he's trying to take down the air defense, but I guess he was surprised by those Tesla popping up. Can he take it down? Yes, there we go, air defense is down, but this is already a heavy investment of 1 invisibility spell and already a couple of loons taking or making this next invisibility spell for the air defense, and there's this Blimp flying into this compartment, making sure that you can reach multi-inferno tower, Expo, scatter shot, defending Royal Champion. What would you want more with the Blizzard?
Look at that beautiful placement into that open zone. And I love the invisibility spell just to redirect the Hound into the path right there into the core to protect that Blimp, get it where it needs to go. Now, with the CC Lord, we can take it down, say in a nice spot where the Queen could pick that off with limited damage. Just the Archer Tower right now on her.
Yeah, that's right. And another triple Ice Golem Clan Castle. It really seems like that Vatang wanted to make sure that they're using a lot of those Clan Castle set up against this Queen Walker squad. He's now sending in the king from the bottom side, trying to push the queen towards the top side, which is, well, a really good idea because he's bringing the next tank where you would normally see maybe the king using king power, tanking power, getting used for the queen. In addition, he's now bringing the green golem to make sure his queen is getting down, taking down the town hall, but that's still a really long way.
And the queen took on a lot of damage from that archer tower because of the ice golems freezing her up and the unicorn. But she's able to get that regenerative health now back in action because most of the defenses were distracted, so can work her way into the town hall, but needs to hang on to this ability and work these freezes. But he's not. He's not hanging on to these freezes at 2. He's not using them.
Yeah, he's trying to concentrate on the Lalo right now. So much multitasking, but the town hall is going down. That was the crucial part. He has still 3 freezes left. I don't know where he should use them, to be honest, because the lava hound is flying across. The loons are following that hound. And yes, still the Royal Champion with her ability. Another haste. 2 more freezes are left. 30 seconds though, so he needs to make sure that time is not an issue. A lot of those lava pops at the tops are already taken down by the arch towers and by the air defense. Next freeze is coming in. The first burst minion at the top side. Keep pushing through, using his spells. 20 more seconds. 2 loons for cleanup are getting saved. Can he make this work? Baby Dragon is working. Owl is working. And this is going to be the next 3-star for Queen Walkers. Stars showing off why he's just so good at the game. The Clan Cast being the last building. And this is going to be a 3-star.
Absolutely stunning performance here from Stars, and that was not an easy one with a queen who really suffered quite a bit. I gotta say, he played that really risky. I was a bit worried. I cannot believe he held on to those freezes, but they did come to his aid in the end there.
That's right. Stars is just so insanely good. I mean, you maybe know that from when attacking on your own. Trying to multitask like this, Lalo is already kind of complicated, you would argue. And then really having the nerves in a situation like this, using the queen ability, not saving anything at this point actually, not even using a freeze for that queen. He exactly knew the power of his heroes. And with this, the next 3 stars on the board. And so far, still the match stays close. Only a really small percentage lead for Queen Walkers is being the entire difference of this match so far. And we're only around about halfway through.
Yeah, there's still plenty that could turn here for either one of these teams. So Queen Walkers is hanging on. They're hanging on strong here. But, man, you know, we are just seeing non-stop excitement. I think this has been probably one of the most epic world champions so far.
Wow, let's go. Super bonus, that's already cool. Bats, that's already cool. And you see a lava hound and a golem in there, which makes this even more crazy. Okay, so let's try to somehow understand what Div is trying to do, because somehow something is not really working. I mean, as far as I know, bowlers or super bowlers are ground. A lava hound not. So how is he going to use that? Because so far he's starting off with a Warden Walk, making sure the scatter shot is going to be taken down. And then he's somehow going to push through the base.
Well, I'm assuming it's going to be somewhere into play with this blimp, perhaps, from where he wants to bring that in. But I think that's the biggest question, is where would he use it to bring in that blimp into?
Yeah, maybe for the Town Hall delayed, because right now, if you would use the blimp right now, this means that the Clan Cast would be lured, which would be a horrible scenario for his Warden, because you don't want to have a Warden walk into a Lava Hound. This takes like, not only 1 attack, it takes like 3 or 4 attacks until this Hound is down. So you don't want to do that. Instead, he's now starting off with his Queen and already preparing the King push into this multi-inferno tower. There is the Golem again. That's kind of cool, to be honest, that we're seeing the Golem so often again on those pro plays, because he's such a good tank if you're not going to go into the single Inferno Tower, and this Inferno Tower is set to multi.
So we have this for so long, gets those bowlers in. King's gonna help continue that push right there into the center of the base, but still, we're hanging on to this Hound, hanging on to the blimp. And we are gonna get the push across into the center of the base to take this down. So that is going to leave only that one option open here.
Yeah, making sure that this blimp is going to reach the Town Hall 100%. There is the Hound, and there is the blimp coming in. There's a Black Man already coming up, but this Town Hall should go down. Maybe with that NATO trap coming up. The Goblins and Sneaky Goblins are getting spin for a run, but at the same time, There is so many Expos on that Queen. Queen ability is getting used to take down Expos with the Town Hall is going down as well with those sneaky Goblins. And now it's all about those bats with the Roy Champ. They have to make work, and they're coming in from the top side.
And we still have the Ice Golem to bring to the table and 2 freezes, but we have to worry about the Wizard Tower and the Scatter Shot here.
The poison! The bats are gone!
Oh, these bats are not going to be able to withstand it, so we have to rely on the Royal Champion to try and carry this one through, but the defending heroes are here in the back end. The Queen trying to pick off the Royal Champion, but the Ice Golem freezes up the radius, drops one of the freezes for the Scatter Shot to give her this fighting chance to try and pick this off, but the Skellies are hanging her up.
Oh no, this was such a cool plan. Maybe he should have, like, I know it's multitasking a lot, and time is going to be the deciding factor at the end, but still, it was a really cool plan. But the problem was, I think he used that blimp a little bit too late, because the damage of the Town Hall, I mean, as soon as 50% is getting reached, this Town Hall is going to be activated, and it's firing back. The Town Hall is really, really threatening to your troops, so you want to have the Town Hall down a bit earlier. In addition to that, the poison of that Town Hall took down all of those bats, and with that, there was no power left at the end.
Yeah, this is a tricky play here, unfortunately, but you do have to give him credit. And you know what? The one thing about this is we are in the double elimination. So this isn't over for them. If they don't get the win today, they will be able to have the opportunity to play again tomorrow.
That's right. The second lower bracket match is going to be played tomorrow. But we have one more match later today after this one. But first, we have to have a winner on this one because it is still incredibly close. Yeah, we have now a percentage and star lead for Queen Walkers, so they could now get a huge lead. And this one, and it's the man, the myth, the legend coming in himself with the Lalo attack.
Now, I do see some Skelly spells here. I'm curious if we're going to see a Skelly donut potentially, but Klaus does a lot of different things, and we often see Skellies as well used to help protect heroes in the mix and provide a little additional tank factor.
Yeah, just take a look at that. He actually used the regular Wall Breaker to test for spring traps on the bottom side to make sure that the Ice Golem is always like giving him this tanking power and especially this freeze power as the Ice Golem is exploding, because there is just so much damage. The defending King, the Warden, everything is over there. The Warden is not getting frozen, but the King, which is giving his own King a great opportunity to take down a lot of this base. Rochim coming from the right side. Yes, some cleanup archers, classic Klaus move right there. And then he needs to Lalo the Town Hall, which is not an easy thing, because typically you see from a lot of players, they try to take down the Town Hall, because otherwise this Town Hall can be so deadly, especially with possible trader traps.
Yeah, the way he's actually approaching this is quite interesting, because he's come from the long side of the Town Hall, cutting that log launcher across, and no healers in the mix. This is very similar to what we see with that drag bat attack working from opposite sides, but the Queen is hung up here, not going to take the Town Hall.
Klaus missed the Queen ability, which means the defending Queen is staying alive, the defending Wizard Tower is staying alive, and there is a back and Tesla form. This could be really bad news. The 50% is reached, so the raid spell is making sure that this tower is going down, but at the same time, this defending Queen has to go down soon as well. The Lava Hound is flying across and maybe taking some traps.
That Warden ability timing, though, nice. Clipping them through, trying to spare some of those loons past the defending AQ. Hasting them into the scatter shot as it's slightly distracted from the opposite side. Hasting them out, trying to run past that Queen. The Headhunter takes her down. But do we have enough to finish this one off? One extra loon here, Itsu, and we do have cleanup around.
We have 3 freezes left. Why didn't we even doubt it? Like, what did we do? We should have already said this is a 3-star. This on us. We're sorry. But still, Klaus is getting that next 3-star with 4 swag spells like he usually does. So really good job to him. And this means Queen Walkers is pushing ahead further. Not only a huge percentage lead, but as well the first star lead, which we had so far in this match. And there is the swag. Nicely done on the Clan Castle. This is how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, not just those freezes. He had the invisibility spell there as well. And, you know, coming into the Town Hall with your Lalo is always potentially a very risky move. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get the Queen down, the defending AQ, but he really played his cards right with the timing of that Warden ability, because he had the Headhunter into the mix. So it's a great backup to have, knowing that you might not get those heroes down.
Yeah, really nicely done, making sure. He tried to make it more interesting with letting his queen die on purpose. I know that he did that, but yeah, overall a really cool plan because as we said, you try to get into the head of your opponent, right? Like trying to use strategies which you try typically not to defend. And most of the time you queen charge the town hall, you should send your heroes for the town hall. So a lot of pro teams try to defend the town hall as good as possible. But when you're sending in your heroes on the other side, this means they can get so much value. We just saw it with the lockdown and everything, but now Vatang is coming in. Lance Loader is coming in with his famous Queen Charge Louder. He always is using this strategy, and he's just so good at it typically.
Yeah, so the Queen will start her approach, but first we're going in with a blimp for the Town Hall, which means Queen can pick up some really good value in shaping up the space and not having to worry about that risk of going through the Poison Bomb, especially since we do have that single targeting Inferno right behind it.
Yeah, that's right. And again, the triple Ice Golem Clan Castle, it really seems like this is something which Vatang prepared for this match. And I mean, so far it has had not too much impact if we're completely fair, but it's always wasting a lot of time. Just take a look at that. Not only freezing everything, but as well slowing down the attack speed of the Queen. And this means it's already 40 seconds gone, with only around about 10%, a bit more of 10% gone off the base. So he needs to now make sure that this Queen is going where she's supposed to go. But he has still all of those other heroes not even deployed yet. So, oh no! Ooh. Oh no, the Queen walking the wrong direction. The minion at the bottom side was not enough to funnel. And now Lance Loader really has to somehow come up with a plan B, which for sure was not planned on this one.
No, this means the scatter shots will not be secured going down. Neither will the Royal Champion here, and he's got those 3 Headhunters, but those were likely waiting for the defending AQ, which the Queen should hopefully make her pass through, but we also have the VK, who is going to work into that multi-compartment and help assist the Queen.
Yeah, but he needs to be careful with Ode. This is so baited. This is so baited with that King. Double Skeleton Trap is coming up. The Tesla around this entry, around this corner entry to lure out the King again. The King has not even got into the base. And this means it's going to be really hard for the King to take down this multi. And I don't know, not even coming close to that Queen. So really good base building so far from Queen Walkers. And this is looking really rough for Lance Loader.
Yeah, that compartment not going down really hurts this. Though the Queen gets the access into the multi-compartment to help push things through, narrow out the pathing for the Lalo. It has a lot to contend with on the back end with a multi, Wizard Tower, Air Defense, and all of those Teslas to finish off with.
Yeah, I mean, Queen of the Core is now not too bad, to be honest. The Queen has to be used, and hopefully the Queen ability, use that Queen! Oh my goodness, this was so close. Ward ability, Mimo on the left side to make sure those dudes are pushing in. I mean, this should still work maybe. The backhand Mucha-Ferntal though, and the time, it's going to be close.
It is 29 seconds left on the clock. We still have the Royal Champion working through, but her health is dropping down, hanging on to that ability to get into this back-end compartment. This was the sticky situation, but only 14 seconds left in 2.
Oh no, Roger ability, hopefully soon detect on the defense, and there we go, 8 seconds. He's dropping everything. Maybe he can make it work. They need that 3-star to stay close to Queen Walkers, and it's only 1 building left, and it goes down. Lance Loader making things work for Vatang, and they had to get this 3-star to stay somehow close to Queen Walkers, and that's exactly what they did in this one.
That is not an easy feat when your Queen goes in the wrong direction the way she did, and you come up to a baited area to be able to recover. That really speaks loads to what Vatang has done.
And I can only highlight, I know Lance Loader is quite often pushing Legends. And this right now was a prime example why everyone out there, if you want to compete at the highest level, should play in Legends. Things are going wrong. Things are going quite often wrong and not going to plan, as you just have seen in this one attack. But the difference between a good player and an incredible good player at this level, which we're having right now on this event, is that you can save attacks like this. I mean, everything went wrong. Queen wrong direction. King was baited and I think he got a cannon. That was pretty good. But except that, nothing went down. So really nicely done. And now it's up to Yuta. Can he get the Queen Walkers to the next round, or can he keep the curse of the casters alive?
We will see as we approach with the Queen, delaying those healers, getting the Queen positioned, working her way along, and waiting for a safe passage for those healers to drop. But we still need to get the Coco Loons in place.
I'm not sure right now if this was planned again, that the queen is going in there, because you never really know how those queens are stepping around the open compartments. And it seems like right now there's a lot of damage. He needs to invest in rage, he needs to invest in visibility spell already quite early on. And he's charging in between of two Expos. Meanwhile, the Warden's on his queen, the defending King is on his queen, so there's a lot of damage on the queen charge right now, so he has to invest a lot of things. Clan Castle is coming out as well. This might be really bad news right now for Utah.
This might be. We still have the king. I'm looking over at the Scattershot compartment with the queen because I noticed we have the Skelly spell, but the king actually coming in from the opposite side with the royal champion. Queen's still on course, clearing out the components, but we need this king to step in place, and the Teslas are pulling him awry. So this means the royal champion might lose her cover here.
Oh no, Queen Walkers is relying on this attack to be at least a high percentage 2-star, 88% to win this match. And he needs to keep wall breaking. He has even one more wall break to get even further into the base, and there's another Hound coming out. And he is using one of his last spells, which is like there's only one more rage left in this Queen Charge, and he did not really get into the core so far. Maybe he's going to invest another spell into the Royal Champion to get down the multi, but it's not going to be easy.
It is not. A no-spell Lalo is a tough one, especially being the attack you finish off with to try and secure your victory. Queen still hanging on here to the ability, but the final rage goes down as the healers get targeted by the multi. Will this Stone Slammer set her back on course? No, she walks.
She walks, but maybe the Slammer can open up for the Queen for the Town Hall. Maybe this can work, but there is still a multi-Inferno Tower on the back end. Core Inferno Tower still left alive, and this means, yeah, the Inferno Tower is not that threatening, but it means there's a lot of traps, a lot of red bombs around there. He's starting to loud into the town. The Tornado Trap is keeping those loons around the town hall poisoned. Warden ability is getting used early. Those loons have to get out of the poison. Those loons have to get out of the poison, otherwise this is really a big problem. There's the Dragon Rider trying to snipe the multi-Inferno Tower. It's going down, and the back-end scatter has to do the entire work. He is crossing the percentage, 88%, 89%. And this means Queen Walker's moving on, but can he steal 3-star with this one?
17 seconds left with those loons coming in, the minions working together. Yuta will not only clutch the victory, he gets it with the 3-star. Yet again, we get to see, I would say celebration.
It was expected for them, right? Like,